The Detroit branch of the NAACP 64th Annual Fight for Freedom Fund Dinner will be held Sunday, May 5th at Cobo Center. Branch President Reverend Wendell Anthony made the announcement who's going to be the keynote speaker.
We are pleased to welcome this lawyer, this former Attorney General, now U.S. Senator through the great state of Michigan, the Honorable Kamala D. Harris, to serve as our keynote speaker for this dinner.
And he also announced several award recipients.
He is a native Detroiter, graduate of the Detroit Public Schools, former president of the Detroit branch NAACP, former president of the Progressive National Baptist Convention, recognized by many as lecturer, preacher, orator, and mentor. He is, of course, the Harvard Hooper, better known as the Reverend Dr. Charles Gilchrist Adams, the senior pastor of Harvard Memorial Baptist Church. He will receive the James Weldon Johnson Lifetime Achievement Award. We're very pleased to honor Dr. Adams of a lifetime of work. We are pleased to present the W.E.B. Du Bois Freedom and Justice Award to none other than Elian Damala Badara Thayam, better known to many of you as Akon. We are presenting to Mr. Darrell Woods the Great Expectation Award for his continuous work in reclaiming our young men. An additional recipient of the Great Expectations Award is a young lady who believes in justice from South Africa to North America. She has founded the Prison and Family Justice Project. She is an advocate for those incarcerated and those seeking economic equity. She is an advisor to the National Resource Center on Families and Children of the Incarcerated, a challenger of stop and frisk policies, and an astute adherent for constitutional rights for all citizens. She is the executive director of the Detroit Justice Center. Dr. Amanda Alexander will also receive the Great Expectation Award.
This year's theme is Freedom Only Knows One Direction. Forward. TellUsDetroit.com.
So I'm going to make sure that the community is involved because I want to make sure that black businesses in particular have a chance to get connected to the people coming in because, you know, traditionally, Vicki, when you have a convention, the people that attend go to the hotels and stay around that, and they don't get in the neighborhoods, and we know that. So therefore, we're going to try to bring some of the neighborhood businesses to where the people are. So we're looking at a place downtown so where we can put them in a situation where people can come and they can spend some money with our people, and all the stuff don't just stay in one area. We also are looking at a special tribute because, you know, this is the 400th year since black folk were brought to America enslaved, and they were taken to Jamestown. And before they were taken to Jamestown, technically they were taken to a place on the James River called Comfort Isle. Enslavement was never comfortable. And then they were taken to Jamestown, and they were sold into slavery. And so this is the 400th anniversary that we're going to have a commemoration here. Not to celebrate it, but to remember it and not to forget those whose lives were suffered and sacrificed and upon which we now stand. So it's going to be live in the city. We're planning it right now.
Can you talk about any of the national speakers or entertainers that might be coming in?
Well, I don't want to get in front of it. I can, but I don't want to get in front of the national. But after this weekend, if I know. Let me say that I want to, but they've asked me not to because we are the hosts, but it's a national convention, so I don't want to get in front of the people. So I'm trying to be respectful. Oh, man, I want to roll it out now, but I can't. Yeah, right. What I'm rolling out now is the dinner on May 5th, you know. Okay. Right, okay.
Now, what about the census? Are you going to put an emphasis on that? Because that's coming up.
Oh, absolutely we're going to put an emphasis on it because, as I said, if you don't count the numbers, you can't count the money. The census tract helps to track where people are. And I know a lot of people don't want to be counted. They think that if they know where I am, if they knew who I am, they coming to get me for bills and for all that stuff. No, we're not interested in that. We're interested in everybody being counted. It means money for roads, for schools, for utilities. It means everything. So we must be counted, and we want a high count. I know it's more people in Detroit than what they've been counting, but when they see you coming, they ain't gonna come to the door and say, here I am, here we be, and so come get me. No, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna simply say, well, hold tight. But we want people to know that you are important and that we will be emphasizing the census. And I believe there's a rollout on April the 1st in terms of beginning that whole process.
You're an outspoken leader in the city of Detroit. Any place for those same bold comments?
No. Any other questions?
Reverend Adams,
Yeah.
Charles Adams celebrates 50 years at Hartford. Talk to me about his maybe perhaps mentorship.
Well, I think that Adams is a legend. He has inspired so many. When I think, you see, there was an era in Detroit when you had Adams, you had Sampson, you had Charles Butler, you had Obie Matthews, you had all these ministers who they ran this town. The Council of Baptist pastors, they was it. You didn't do nothing without going through them. They helped, along with others, to put Coleman Young in office. Adams was the preacher that was often called upon to send out the word. And Charles Adams has made his mark. He's a scholar, Harvard man. We call him the Harvard Hooper because, going to Harvard, you're supposed to, but Adams broke it down. And he inspired me. And I don't mind saying that I love Charles Adams. And that he's now in the twilight of his ministry. He's still kicking. He's celebrating, I believe, his 50th anniversary as a pastor, big event for him. And I believe that you ought to give folk their roses while they can smell them and appreciate them. And I want him to know that we appreciate him and what Hartford and he has done over the